What's up, guys? Renasant here. Welcome back to the channel. We are, as you can see, in an all too familiar location. Good old Blighttown. Rocking a plus 14 halberd with the Ornstein set here that we got. We're here just to see if Quailana has anything new to say.
Ah, there you are. I was expecting you. Let us begin.
And she doesn't, but that's mainly because we have not bought all her pyromancy. So we are going to go and buy Great Fireball, Firestorm, Fire Whip. We'll just buy all of them just so she'll be cool with us.
The Witch of Isolith. Please, do not speak of her. I abandoned my mother and sisters and fled to this land. Now I roam these parts, feigning ablution and pretending to seek answers.
So she tells us that the Witch of Isolith, that's her mother, obviously. She's one of the daughters of Chaos, and she specifically speaks of her sisters, saying that she fled that area.
Pyromancy is the... But remember one thing. Always fear the flame. I would hate to see that happen again.
So I think we've had that dialogue.
Pyromancy is the... I would hate...
Yes. So we did just want to get that dialogue for the most part.
Now go.
So if you're wondering why we're in Blighttown, we're actually here because I was gonna do the DLC, or start on it, but instead, I think I am going to do the Great Hollow. It's not a particularly long area. We've been to it in a previous episode. We didn't do the Great Hollow, but we kind of traversed through it. So I also wanted to come down here just to continue a quest line because there is an NPC down here that we need to speak to, and you may see him and notice him right away. Good old Siegmeyer. So if you recall, last time we spoke to him at Firelink Shrine, he said that he was going to go down below. Well, he wasn't lying. Large Titanite? Large Titanite. What's up, Siegmeyer? What you doing down here?
Oh ho!
Ho ho!
I was so absorbed in thought I just drifted away. You see, I'm actually in a bit of a fix. I needed this far, but I'm short on antidote mods for the trip back. By my knighthood, I'm ashamed to ask, but can you spare a few scraps of moss?
Of course we can.
Fantastic. Thank you. A saint you are. This Knight of Katarina expresses his deepest gratitude. I shall not forget this. Please, take this, a symbol of my appreciation. Well, our fates do seem entwined, don't they? Perhaps this, too, is the will of Lord Gwyn.
Alright, so Siegmeyer gave us a Pierce Shield, which is basically his shield, right? It's a shield of certain knights of Katarina. It can be used as a thrust weapon.
Poison swamp. I quicksand in there. The poison.
Alright, so that's it for Siegmeyer. So I don't know. I actually think I'm not going to do this just quite yet. So we're actually instead going to travel to Anor Londo. I think we are gonna start pursuing the DLC area. I know, wishy-washy, 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 wishy-washy. Man, that's hard to that's hard to say. Go ahead as well and So, to get to the DLC, we have to do a couple different things here. First of all, if you recall from a very earlier episode when we were first entering Anne Orlando, there was a giant golden wall basically blocking our path forward over here. Well, now that we have the Lord Vessel, that should no longer be the case. Also, I would like to put the Leo ring on. So we can get, because this halberd does thrust damage, we can get thrust counter damage with it. But yes, this golden fog gate, you could say here, is gone. And this is actually, this area is actually the entry to the Duke's Archives. Come on, Piglet. Piglet, 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 Piglet. He won't come out of here. And you can see he doesn't. Your damage type just bounces right off of him unless you do power attacks. Can't remember, did we get a Fangboar helm already from the first one? Oh, we didn't. Severed head of the fully armored Fangboar, taken by the one who killed it as proof of his victory, just as the gods once did with the head of the ancient dragon. So we're not going to wear that right now, but... Where is our pyro flame? Because there is just one more. Look at interesting little effect there. I love that. Like the running shows our foot marks there. See if we can... Oh, kudos, you got us, man. But we still ended up getting you in the end, so... And we aren't actually going to do the Duke's Archives, I don't think. But we will go ahead and light this bonfire. Contraption does not move. Well, then this one definitely does, right? You see the architecture of this area. We look like a badass with Ornstein's helmet on here. So you'll see in the distance a Chandler. You'll see some of these guys. There's a lot of enemies in this area. These little guys are crystal soldiers. They aren't really a problem. However, there is a large number of them, and more importantly, the Chandler can buff them. We see you, Chandler. I'm not even going to bother killing them. There's no point, really. What we came here for is this guy right here. Oh, you see that guy's buff now. The Chandler buffed him. Didn't mean to do that, but it'll work. This is actually the guy we want to kill. To get the broken pendant. Not sure where. There it is. Half of a broken stone pendant. The vine appears to originate from Ulasil. A powerful magic can be sensed from this ancient stone. Yet men of this time can neither manipulate nor sense its power, which has a distinct air consisting of both reverence and nostalgia. Yet men of this time can't sense its power. So that's very interesting. So it makes reference to Ulasil, which the only really references we have for Ulasil come from the spells that we bought. Where are they? Yeah. Repair, hidden body. So we bought these spells from Princess Dusk. So we should probably go talk to Dusk, right? The quickest way to her probably be Undead Parish. So Dusk, if you recall, we saved. She was trapped inside that crystal golem in Dark Root Basin right after we killed the Hydra. So we probably want to go down there. We also, do we have an ember to give to Andre? Yeah.
What a brilliant ember you have there. I've only heard legends of such specimens. The embers used for the secret rites of divine blacksmiths. Perhaps you could lend it to me. I've long dreamed of forging divine weapons.
So we've already given him the regular divine ember, but this is for the large divine ember.
I'll be seeing you, Pete.
Yes.
Show me that ember of yours. Well, I've never heard of a black ember. How about leaving that ember with me? I find it strangely fascinating.
Of course, the dark ember that we picked up in the painted world.
Thank you. This ember really is something special. I'm already under its spell. I sense great potential indeed. I'll be seeing you.
I don't think we have another one.
You need any?
Nah. So, like I said, we found that broken pendant, and the only real clue of where we need to go on there, it specifically mentions Ulasil. So, like I said, we're just going to go talk to Dusk and see what she makes of it. If you recall, Dusk had a summon sign down here that we could just summon her right up. Remember, she was at the bottom of the basin here. Not too far of a run. Yeah, I thought I wanted to do the Great Hollow, but I think we are going to wait a little while on it. Alright, so of course we've already killed the Hydra here, so we don't have to worry about him again, luckily. Do have these crystal golems here, but they're really no concern. Blue Titanite chunks? Hey, those are kind of a rare drop. So it's nice to have those. Alright, so you can see here, Dust Summon Sign would be right here, but it is not. It is gone. So we need to find out what's going on there. You may notice there's a lot of particles in the air over here. Of course, I took the rusted iron ring off, so not exactly moving fast here. What did I put on? Leo ring, I believe. So you can see all these little dots over here. Huh. Interesting. So there's both an item over here and there's this weird abyss-looking portal. So we want to go and investigate that, I believe. Really want the item before I investigate the portal. Examine, yeah. Hold on. Ah. The antiquated set. A dress from the ancient fallen land of Ulasil. Its ivory-colored silk features elaborate embroidery and is imbued with ancient magic power. One cannot expect any physical protection from this garment, as it was never meant to be worn in battle. And the Crown of Dusk. Special magic crown bestowed upon Dusk, Princess of Ulasil. Its wearer is blessed by all manner of magic. That raises the power and effect of the wearer's magic. But damage suffered by magic attacks also rise. So do more magic damage, take more magic damage, basically. So why is all of Dusk's clothes chilling right there? Let's see. Interesting, interesting, interesting. The Sanctuary Garden. So where the heck are we? Oh, we might as well rest. Might as well kindle. Alright. So the Sanctuary Garden. Fog wall right off the rip, huh? Oh, apparently we're fighting a boss already. Alright, so this is the Sanctuary Guardian. He is an interesting character. He's not a hard boss at all. The issue with the Sanctuary Guardian is we can get a special item from his tail again, of course. However, we can only get it if he cooperates with us. So we could kill him quite easily, honestly, but we want that friggin' tail, man. And really the only way to get it is to wait for him to do a specific attack. That's not it. Come on, man, cooperate with us. There we go. Ah, come on. Oh, we missed. That is the attack that we are wanting, by the way. So if we stand like right here, maybe. Come on, come on. We'll fight you as long as we have to, punk. We're getting that tail. Come on. Again, not a tough boss. You just have to, if you want that tail, you gotta spend a lot of time. Damn it. Come on. Like I said, I'm trying to focus, not because I'm afraid to die. We could have killed this boss 10 times over already. I just want to get that tail. There we go, finally. The Guardian tail. Now we can go hard on him. And you see how easy he was to kill once we got the tail. So the Guardian Soul. We still don't even know where we are, by the way. Guardian Soul. You notice how it's like bright yellow. Soul of the white-winged lion sanctuary watchkeeper who dreaded the spread of the abyss. The Guardian exhibits traits of several animals other than lions, suggesting that it was no ordinary beast, but rather closer to the beings known as demons. Very interesting. So we're still kind of lost here. So we're just gonna press forward. No. Wrong way. Both the entrances look very similar. And I will say, guys, it's been a while since I've done this DLC, so hopefully I can remember where most of the stuff is in it and how to get everywhere. Ulasil Sanctuary. So we are somehow in the lost land of Ulasil. Now, many people may be wondering, well, how the hell is that possible? It'll become clear. Go ahead and kindle this bad boy up a couple times here. You may notice this fine young lady. This is Elizabeth the Mushroom.
Look at this one. From what faraway age hast thou come? Thy scent is very human indeed, but not intolerable. Ah, Princess Dusk's savior. Thine aura is precisely as she described. I thank thee deeply for rescuing Her Highness. Princess Dusk is here no longer, snatched away by that horrifying primeval human. And so I must ask, couldst thou once more play the savior?
So, from an age far away from here, so that kind of tells us already that we not only are we in a different area, which technically we aren't, but we'll get into that later. But we're actually in a different time, an entirely different time altogether. And she specifically mentions about we are the savior of Princess Dusk. She's referring to us saving Dusk from the crystal golem in the Darkroot Basin. Now, how she's disappeared again, and again we'll get more into the time aspect of it, but effectively we're in a different time. She has been saved by us from that crystal golem, and when we were summoning her using that summon sign, she was actually being summoned from this time period. Of course, now, as Elizabeth just mentioned, something has happened to her again. She's been kidnapped by that primeval human. So,
Thank you.
primeval man, excuse me.
Guardian of this sanctuary, something of a godmother to Princess Dusk. I shall assist thee to my utmost, for I am one with the sorceries of Ulysses.
Alright, so she's got some repair powder, a couple of those. Ulusil Ivory Catalyst, of which we already have, and some resin.
Thou shalt see further on, an abyss was begat of the ancient beast, and threatens to swallow the whole of Ulysses. Knight Artorius came to stop this, but such a hero has nary a murmur of dark. Without doubt he will be swallowed by the abyss, overcome by its utter blackness. Indeed, the abyss may be unstoppable. Still, I have faith that Princess Dusk may be rescued yet. Thou shalt see further on, an abyss night with it still.
Alright, so
The flame
that tells us that Artorias has to do with this story. So let's just briefly read the Covenant of Artorias. This ring symbolizes Knight Artorias' covenant with the beasts of the abyss. It's where, like Artorias himself, can traverse the abyss. One of the special rings, the wolf ring, belongs to Artorias the Abyss Walker. Artorias had an unbendable will of steel and was unmatched with a greatsword. So this is the past, because in our own time zone, I'm going to say time zone a lot probably, that's it's not correct, but in our own time period, there's the legend of Artorias as being the Abyss Walker. You remember the sealer specifically mentioned it as well. Of course, in our time, the Abyss was the Four Kings, right? The Four Kings are the ones who effectively were dealing with the Abyss and running with the Abyss down in New Londo. And Artorias' ring, well, specifically the Covenant of Artorias, is the ring that allowed us to traverse that area. So, if Artorias is here, then obviously it's the past, because in this time period, Artorias has not actually traversed the abyss yet. Elizabeth specifically said, give me that item. For Pong Plow, heck yeah. Elizabeth specifically said that Artorias is gonna be swallowed by the abyss, that he hasn't actually traversed the abyss yet. So I forgot to read the Guardian Tale, and it doesn't really say anything. I don't think the Plow does either. Led by the wooden scarecrows, serfs of the forest sanctuary. So these are scarecrows, wooden scarecrows apparently, and we already know what these guys are. So I'm gonna give it a little while before we go too deep into the lore implications here. Of what these guys are, or why they're here. If I could attack, there we go. But we have seen similar guardians, I guess you could say, to those. We've seen them in the Darkroot Basin. Excuse me, in the Darkroot Garden. interesting area over there. Imminent death down there. Guardian gauntlets. So hopefully we can get all of the Guardian armor. A lot of times I'll miss some of it, but Gauntlets of the Stone Knights, Guardians of the Forest Sanctuary. The Stone Knights are golems animated by magic, and their enchanted gauntlets are oppressively heavy. Stone Gauntlets. Moss-covered gauntlets of the Stone Knight, defender of the Darkroot Garden. The Stone Knight is a product of ancient magic, and although these are imbued with magic, they're incredibly heavy. Very similar. Remember, the stone gauntlets are indeed the ones that are. I mean, the stone stuff is the giants from Darkroot Garden. Excuse me. Oh, my accuracy is great, apparently. Come on, buckwheat. You can see we got enemies just everywhere here. I like to try to snuff as many of them out as possible, because you do not want to fight all these enemies together. Right, you want to fight them one by one by one. Oh yeah, and they can drop Twinkling Titanite, by the way. It's always nice to know. Sniped it. Sniped him, sniped. Whew. Watch out for that. And I usually just like to ride the edges here. And you can see an item over there. See another stone giant. And this is behind the room with the elevator. And yeah, that may look like items, but they're not. It's very similar to previous areas we've been at, where the light itself appears to be something, but it's really not. So that would be imminent demise going down that way, huh? What do you guys think? Another item there. We see a bridge in the distance. Can't quite get to it, but we can drop down there. Don't want to do that just yet. Still want to explore a little bit more over here before we drop down there. And you may be wondering why I'm doing this, and it's purely because, like I said, we're probably going to go down there, right? But don't want to fight all these guys at once. You know, that's just asking for trouble. We see. So close. Come on. Come fight me. Now can you see why I didn't want to fight all these guys at once? Stamina breaker extraordinaire. There we go. Easy peasy. Alright, not gonna go down there quite yet. Because again, we got some more stuff to explore. See, normally this guy would lure you into a trap, but because we already killed all his friends, it's not a very good trap. Thank gosh. Alright, so that looks like that's the way forward, so we don't want to go down there quite yet. Now, of course, we see this. This is where we entered the area over here, so that tells me we have indeed cleared it. So now that we know we've done that, we can proceed forward. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done this area, so just bear with me, guys. Into this little briar patch here. Guardian leggings, so more parts of the Guardian set. Another item we can see over there. Alright, so now we can cross the bridge. Oh, hello, friend. Goodbye. Alright, well, we'll learn more about him later. I will tell you, his name is Calamite. Calamite the dragon. Oops. Uh-oh. Spoilers, we didn't want to do that. Hear the thunder. And you'll also notice, this is always pretty cool, I love coming down here because you notice all this nasty here, this, well, abyss. Whew. Just jump right over that if y'all don't mind. There's quite a few items that we want to pick up over here. See this guy guarding something. Like Guardian armor? Perhaps? Come on, we'll fight you. Goff's great arrows. great arrow used by Hawkeye Golf, one of the Lord Gwyn's 4 knights for dragon slaying. Requires a great bow. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So that is one of Gwyn's 4 knights golf. That is his arrows. And we'll learn much more about all that in just a little bit, but now we want to get over there. Just easier said than done, actually. So I believe we want to come over here. Go this way. This area is kind of a pain to traverse, if we're being honest. It's not that bad, but it can get quite annoying. Got the soul item there. You see more and more of this abyss everywhere here. And I am trying to complete this area before we end this episode. If I can. Crystal lizard that I'm sure won't lead us into a trap. Got him. Take my twinkling. They got pretty good chances to drop it. Alright, don't want to go down there just quite yet. There's still one more little thing. One more piece of that guardian set, I believe, that we're missing. And you'll notice all these guys, they're not actually even hostile. Until we touch their stuff. Then they're hostile. Should come as no surprise. Alright, there we go. Believe these are the last 2 items we need. The soul and don't drop down there. Ooh. About tricked me there. Can you actually die? Oh yeah. A guardian helm, so that is the last piece of the guardian set there. And that should be all the items in this area. So now, oh, forgot about the Elizabeth mushroom. So now we want to go back to, oops. Did not mean to do that, unfortunately. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. We were basically at the end there. Unfortunately, there was a shortcut there that we failed to open up, but that's okay. So we'll do it in the next episode. So as always, if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, comment, and hit that sub button for me. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.